Oh, the popper stuff.
All set.
You want my mic for the intro?
1, 2, 3, testing.
Mr. Thorn, got turn that.
I didn't know it was going to be such a big production.
Well, all of our productions are as big as the Rolling Stones.
It's like $100 million movie. Where's my stuff?
Zelda, turn the thing, silver thingy.
Sorry. Pangea. Come on, listen. Check it out.
Check it out.
Stanley.
We're here with the man, Mr. Stan Lee. We're gonna be talking with him. He created the Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man. Wow, and we're here in POW. Now listen up.
Very good.
Entertainment, yeah. Hi, you're listening to Pangea Records, and we are interviewing the incredible Stan Lee.
Well, I give you an incredible greeting for that. That was very good.
Thank you. So, I think we all know who Stan Lee is. Co-creator of many, or creator, but I know, of Marvel Comics and co-creator of many of the actual Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm really nervous, characters we know and love today. So, are we ready to start asking questions?
I don't know, are you ready?
Okay, I think we'd like to establish your character to begin with.
I think the important thing is, am I ready to answer them? Or will I be able to? I'm kind of nervous too. Are they going to be difficult questions? Do I need reference material?
So,
If I can Google an answer on my phone, I'll be all right.
I'll give you an iPhone and we can do it really
All
quickly. So I think we would like to begin with your background and maybe your childhood. What exactly is your inspiration to create these marvelous characters and these superheroes?
Well, mostly greed, because I was being paid for them. And I don't know, I've always loved thinking up stories. When I was a little kid, I used to write stories to myself, just for myself, my own amusement. I like going to the movies, I like reading books, and stories have always meant a lot to me.
About your school life, were your characters modeled after bullies perhaps in school, or were they stuff you thought of as well?
It's a funny thing, when I think back, I had a very uneventful childhood in that sense. I was never bullied. I wasn't the biggest, strongest kid around, but maybe I was so small that nobody bothered with me. Maybe they didn't notice me. But my school career was really very uneventful. I went to school in the morning, came home at night, tried to do as little homework as possible, rode my bike, roller skated, had a few friends, and before I knew it, I was through with school and I was grown up. I don't have that many exciting memories of it, really.
Who were your first, heroes?
Oh, everybody I ever read about or all the movies I saw. I loved Tarzan, Sherlock Holmes, Captain Nemo, the Scarlet Pimpernel, King Kong when I saw him in the movies, Frankenstein. I loved everything that was a little bit bigger than life and more exciting, you know?
So what did you read when you were small, a wee lad? Because you basically invented comic books. You are the
father of comics.
Well, it's a funny thing. When I was very young, maybe around 6, 7, 8 years old, I used to draw stick figures. I would take a sheet of paper and draw a line on the bottom, and that was my horizon line. And then I would draw little stick figures standing on that line, and some of them would be running, some would be walking. I mean, they were terrible drawings, just a little round head and a stick for the body and 2 legs, but I had fun with it. And if it was a Western story I was making up, I'd put a little cowboy hat on the guy's head. I didn't know how to draw a cowboy hat, but I just made it a wide brim and a little curved circle for the top. And I was just in my own little world drawing those little stupid stick figures.
So, I think this was a question I actually really wanted to get to, so I might be jumping the gun, but you created a lot of these characters, and now over the years they have grown and evolved in so many ways, and from the input from various writers. How do you feel about that? Do you still have input, or?
No, as far as the movies go, I really have nothing to do with the movies, and I like it that way. if the movies are good, I still get a lot of credit for them, and if they're bad, nobody can blame me. But I'm pretty lucky. They've all been pretty good, and the movies have been wonderful, and I'm thrilled at what's happened. When I was writing these stories years ago, I never dreamed that someday I'd be interviewed by all you wonderful media people, and people would care about what my childhood was like or how I invented these things. And in those days, we were just, I and the artists I worked with, we were sitting in a little room in a cramped office trying to, our biggest problem was we had a schedule all the time because these were monthly magazines and we had to have them in time for the printer. So our biggest problem was, will we have the story finished by the 31st or the 15th or whatever the date was? And that was the only thing on our mind, you know. And of course, will the book sell? Will somebody buy the comic book? But to dream that someday later these would be really some of the biggest money-making motion pictures, it never would have occurred to us.